Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. Super excited to connect with you today for another episode of the Nurse Entrepreneur Spotlight. And today we have a really amazing guest with us. Her name is Dachia Thompson. So, Dachia, I want to welcome you and thank you for sharing some time with us this morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Awesome. So great to have you here. So, for those of you who don't know Dachia, she has a business. She's the owner of Ambition Healthcare Training, which I absolutely love that name. And she provides through her business continuing education training, community healthcare trainings, CPR, AED, COVID testing, and is in the process of opening her own healthcare training school in North Carolina. And she also helps other people open up CNA schools across the United States, which is fantastic. So, Dachia, I want to welcome you to the spotlight today. Awesome. So, as we get started, I've shared with our viewers a little bit about your history and what you're up to, but tell us a little bit about how you got started in nursing and, the kind of settings you've worked in and the kind of work you've done.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. So I've always wanted to be a nurse. From my earliest memory, I can remember episodes of like Touched by an Angel or it was another show that came on around there that I just really liked. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. So from there, I kind of just, used to watch all the medical shows that came on TV. Rescue 911 was one of my favorites. So from there, I went to nursing school. I thought I wanted to be an administrative nurse, but I decided, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I got my LPNs. I also worked as a CNA. I've worked in settings from long-term care to short-term care, skilled nursing, pediatrics, all the way to geriatrics. I worked at autism and school nursing. So I like to dibble and dabble because I've always said that like the best experience is going to come from me experiencing it. Otherwise, I can't necessarily say that I would be an effective teacher because I love gathering information.
I love that. I love that. That is so powerful. And I think that is one of the things that is really interesting about nursing. Number one, we have a lot of opportunities, right, to explore a lot of different specialties. And there have been times in my career, I got to tell you, I'll just mention this because I think probably a lot of people struggle with the same thing that I did, is that I often felt, boy, what does somebody think of my resume? Because I have done a lot of different things and for a lot of different organizations, right? But I think in nursing specifically, it's really not a big deal. And my husband said to me one day, he said, Teresa, in my opinion, that makes you a well-rounded nurse.
Right.
Whereas I was kicking myself for it, thinking, traditional employment, I need to be in one place 30 years, So I love
Same here.
I love that you have that experience though. And I do think it's so valuable because you gain a unique perspective in every type of nursing that you work. So yeah, you. So you've done a lot of, traditional nursing and a lot of different roles. What drew you to step into the world of being an entrepreneur and starting your business?
I'm going to say the most logical explanation I have for that is going to be because of that resume. Not that it was hard for me to keep a job. It was just, I felt like there was so much I could do if I wasn't stuck inside of a building for 8 to 12 hours a day. Because often as an LPN, you get stuck in the long-term care role, and that's the feeling that you get, is the feeling of being stuck. But I just knew with nursing being so broad, so many things, I was just like, I don't think this is where I am best suited at. I do love the experience. I love bedside. I love it. But I think some people have to step out that role in order to make the change for, other people. And that's actually where I got the name for my school, Ambition Healthcare Training, because my focus, that's where it's going to be, on those people who are ready to get out and use the experience that they have to create that life that they want to have.
Girlfriend, you are on fire. I just love, I hear all the passion in you. And it was like, that box they were putting me in nursing was just too small for me.
Yes.
I needed something more than, and it's not
just
about
a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so, I want all of our viewers who may be thinking about starting a business and feeling scared to do it to know that there are people like Dachia every day who just step out and do it because it's the right thing for them. And
Yes.
I just love hearing that. So tell us, I mentioned a couple of things that you do with your business. How do you serve your clients, Dachia? I know you have some things kind of in progress right now and coming in the future, but there are things that you're doing right now. Tell us a little bit about, what your business is all about and how you help people.
Okay. So one of the things that I do for, I guess, my community around me is just try and be involved. As a new business owner, it's for me, the stage that I'm at, I rather create the partnerships and networks first, because I want my business to be community based. I want to be there for the people who can't get into town, who may not have a car, who may live with multi-family generations in their home.
Right.
So I'm trying to be a part of their communities to help create the environment in their communities. Because oftentimes, at least where I live at, the opportunities haven't been there for people to go and do. Even in education, we have two major colleges around us, but in between you have 20 to 30 small towns where it's still a railroad track and a caution light that runs the whole town. So just trying to be a part of the communities and just show others, especially the youth, that you can have a career, still have fun, but just don't limit yourself. You're not limited to those things around you. So that's kind of how I help my clients. I do go to the schools a lot and just encourage them that, don't create a box and don't live in your box.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I got my motto: ambition drives transformation. You have to want it, but you also have to see it in order for you to be driven to do that change.
Oh my gosh.
So, ambition healthcare training.
I love that. I love that. And so the healthcare training that you do, and I know you mentioned there's some highlights on your bio about, you've been a COVID compliance officer, CLIA certified, Six Sigma Lean Green Belt. Wow, in healthcare. Just, some really great accomplishments. Are you doing with your healthcare training? Are you providing any trainings right now, or tell us a little bit about the consulting you've done to help people start their CNA schools across the country?
Okay. So I am currently, let's say, before you start out there and start your own business, make sure you still keep your job until you're floating.
There you go.
So I have definitely been gracious enough to have an amazing, when I say an amazing boss, Victoria Randall of The Secret Cocktail. She has definitely inspired me to go out there, but also be strategic. So what I do now is I assist her with creating curriculums and assisting people, again, who want to move from that bedside onto entrepreneurship. And she's been the biggest inspiration. She's like my work mom, and helping me to navigate that. So that's just kind of where I'm at.
Love it. Love it.
I just use the experience that I have, create curriculums.
That's great.
And I do COVID testing.
Okay. So you do COVID testing, you write curriculum. Yeah. What kind of curriculum are you writing?
At this point, I could probably knock out anyone that you gave me, but we focus on CNA curriculums.
I
Mhm.
love it. Love it. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Wonderful. So tell me now, what do you enjoy most about working for yourself, being an entrepreneur?
Working for myself.
I said it
That's
all for you.
yeah. That's really what I enjoy. One of the things that made me pull back from wanting to become a nurse, and I know it's how a lot of nurses may feel. One of the things that was a drawback was I would have so much anxiety when it was time for me to get off, because
Mhm.
it would be like, is somebody going to come in today? Am I going to be late? And with me living in a rural town for my job, I'm driving 30 minutes at least to my job. And I
Yeah.
have two girls that were in high school. Well, not in high school, they're in middle school. And we have to walk down maybe like a half a mile dirt road. So it was kind of anxiety of, am I going to be able to get off on time? What if somebody snatches my kids up? This
Right.
world is getting crazy. So it would be the
Mhm.
anxiety of trying to be a mother and having a career.
Mhm.
So working for myself has since eased that. But then with me being with them all day, it's kind of like, pick your battle, baby, pick your battle.
I love that. I love that. So the flexibility
So
of it has helped you,
flexibility, definitely.
yeah, be where you need to be for your children and that kind of thing. I love that. I love, not to mention, it sounds like you strike me as somebody who is just very industrious. And if I feel like working on this, I'm going to work on this. And, I might choose to work on something else down the road, but you're very industrious is how you
Yes.
strike me. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's great to have that flexibility though, even in your workflow, and not have to have somebody handing you assignments as far as this is going to be your day to day. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I enjoy that piece too. I love that. I love that. So tell us now, because a lot of the people who watch this, the Nurse Entrepreneur Spotlight Dacia, they're nurses who aspire to start their own businesses. They're working at the bedside, or um, maybe in long-term care, or maybe even behind a desk, right?
Mhm.
And they're thinking, I wish I had more. I wish I had flexibility. I wish I had balance in my life and could be with my family more. Wish I could earn more money, right?
Mhm.
What one piece of advice would you share with any nurse who's thinking of starting a business?
Be a sponge. Be a sponge and learn everything you can about what you're most passionate about. Because as nurses, you have no idea the power of what you can do and who you can be. Um, in some of my speeches that I give the young adults, you haven't experienced life, but you don't want to wait until it's too late to experience life.
Right.
So I say the same thing as it transcends into nursing. Um, just learn everything you can. If you know that your passion is pediatrics, um, try and get assignments, pick up assignments around, pediatrics and pediatric care. Learn all the things that you can. Go to the rooms that nobody wants to go to. Um, Learn the positives and the negatives of what
Mhm.
you like, because you will encounter both the positive and the negatives of each situation. But from there, you know, going back to the sponge thing, if you think about a sponge, sponges can be used in so many different ways. You can
Mhm.
cut them and make them an arts and craft project. You can clean with them. You can microwave them. People use them to bathe with. Sponges can be
Mhm.
used in so many different ways. So just use your nursing career as that sponge. Again, learn everything you can, and don't be afraid to take criticism.
Mhm.
When you get out there in the business world, you will have 10,000 no's, but it doesn't matter because you only need one yes. Um, Steve Harvey is one of my biggest motivators, because he
Mm-hmm.
says, if you never leap, you'll never know what it's like to soar.
Mm-hmm.
Once I heard that one time, I understood it, because it's going to take you leaping out there to do it. You're going
Yeah.
to have so many fears, but fears are going to be based on an acquired collection of things that have happened in your life. So you
Mm-hmm.
just have to go out there, do it, experience, and you're going to have to learn how to encourage yourself while you do it. Because every day, at least every other day, I probably wanted to quit my job that I created for myself. So when you go out there, you're just gonna have to do it, but you're gonna have to really, really want to do it in order to
Mm-hmm.
challenge yourself and motivate yourself every day to do it. Because you want to be the best at what you do and be able to make money and monetize off of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Great advice. Be a sponge. And I love the how you led into that and said, a sponge can be used for so many different things. And I think that is where, as an entrepreneur, it becomes our responsibility
Mhm.
to teach the public about how our products and services can be used in their unique businesses, and it may look
Right.
different in this
Mhm.
organization than this organization,
Mhm.
this. And so I just love that, because the business as your extension is also that same example of the sponge. It's going to be used one way
Mhm.
here, one way here, one way here. And
Mhm.
and if we're open to that, then that's where the abundance is, man. That's
Right.
where the good stuff is. I get chills just thinking about it, because when you can provide that kind of customer service and you don't have just a cookie cutter product, and you
Right.
serve people in the way that's meaningful to them,
Mhm.
I mean, there is never competition in that. I mean, your people will know you, they will value you, and they'll come to your door looking for you. So
Right.
that's fantastic. Great advice. Oh my gosh. I love that. So Dacia, before we finish up today, I want to give you this opportunity. Take the next few minutes, if you would, and just share with our viewers how they can connect with you, how they can learn more about you and your business, and that kind of thing. Okay. It's your opportunity to share now.
Okay, so my name is Dacia. If you haven't heard, I love thinking creatively. A very out of the box thinker. So what I need for you to do, and it's gonna only take a couple of seconds, is go to my handles. All of my handles have either AHT or ATP CPR. So, as I am a healthcare provider, I also teach CPR. Right now, CPR is what I am focusing on, as well as CEUs. So, all of my handles will again have ATP, CPR, apply the pressure, CPR training solution. So,
Love that.
that's how you can contact me. I am on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Um, I do try and post regularly. I am working on content calendars. um, so pretty much that's where you'll find me. If you need any of my services, the easiest thing and the simplest thing that you can do for any new business owner is like and share. Like, share, and follow. Like, share, and follow. Those are the three things that you can do to help
Love
the
that.
business owners out. Because again, that helps get the word out, get you noticed, because even if you can't assist me, someone else that you know might can, use my services. So
Exactly.
if you can do that, I will greatly appreciate it.
Love, love, love it. Love, love, love it. So, Dacia, I want to thank you so much for sharing some time with us today on the Nurse Entrepreneur Spotlight. It's been my pleasure to interview you and get to know you a little bit better and learn more about your business and what you're up to. Um, and that concludes this episode. So, thank you again, Dacia, for joining me and being my guest.
Thank you.
All right. And to all of our viewers, we will see you next time on the Nurse Entrepreneur Spotlight. Bye for now.
Bye.